Hey guys, thanks for clicking on my video. So I just got the Getfpv crate in the mail today, and I just did an unboxing. Make sure you click on that video. I'll have it somewhere up in one of these corners. However, in that box, we got a QAV-R frame. So I'm going to open that up, show you everything inside this little frame, and tell you my opinion on this frame. Okay, so now that we have everything out of the package and sorted out, I noticed that it comes with these two little zip ties, and at first I didn't quite know where they went, but they put these holes right here in the back. Bardwell he goes on about how the best way to mount your antenna is straight out the back with the SMA connection behind the carbon. That way in crashes it doesn't break off. And they actually, on this frame, made it very easy to mount that. They even put the hole through the battery pad, which was very thoughtful because so many times you go to put these battery pads on and it covers some of the holes. Also, there's this little weird notch here. I couldn't figure out what that was at first. However, I noticed that I think it's the Q and the QAV, so kind of clever there. Normally I use Oma grip, but this little battery pad that it actually came with was pretty cool. It's cut perfectly to fit, so I actually think I want to try that out. As long as my battery doesn't eject, I'll keep using that, but I normally use Oma grip. If you haven't used Oma grip, definitely check it out. It's super sticky, and you get to help out Tommy. So also in the package, this is everything it comes with. One thing to note is that the hardware is 10-9 hardness steel, or yeah, I think steel, which is really good. And there's this one screw, I don't know if you can see that very well. It has a shoulder or this like washer looking thing on it. You only have one of them, and I really wish they gave you a couple extra of these, because without this one, this is what holds the arms together at the bottom. I'll show you when I build it out. The other thing that I noticed is it didn't come with battery straps, which, for a premium frame, I definitely believe that, it should always include two battery straps, but it didn't. Just a small gripe. And one other thing, just to keep in mind, like I said, I did get this out of the FPV box. And from what I've researched and looked up, is this frame normally actually comes in a little cardboard box and not a baggie. However, it does look like all the parts are here, same carbon, same everything, so I don't believe they're cheaping out in any way. The carbon is extremely strong. Actually, the two frames I can compare it to, I used to fly floss frames and floss the freestyle and the floss style. I've flown almost all of Kebab's frames, as well as I am now on to a schizo frame, and I can honestly say the quality of this carbon seems better than any other carbon I've held in my hands. If you look at the edge, the layers are so thin, and there's so many of them, you can hardly even see it. I don't know if that's focusing right, but definitely a high quality carbon here. So, oh, it also comes with these little foam pads for the arms. I don't ever use these, but it's cool that those are included. One thing that I did, another thing is, it didn't come with battery straps. It also doesn't come with a lot of extras. I was counting the screws, and it seems like you have exactly what you need here and nothing more. I definitely do like to see a couple extra screws, maybe some 3D printed parts or something more in the bag, but for an $80 frame, you can definitely tell that all the money went into the carbon, which I'm not complaining about. The carbon's the most important part. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through the rest of this video, and I'll talk to you at the end. So one thing to note real quick is that there are slightly longer screws here. These are for the standoffs on the bottom plate, as well as the one where the press nut is not. The longer screw goes through there. Your slightly shorter screws are going to go into the rest of the frame and the top plate. Alright, so as you can see, I only put in one screw. It comes right up to the end of the press nut, so definitely the perfectly right size. However, you do see there is a little bit of play in here. I'm sure that will be locked down once all the other screws are put in. Okay, and see, this is that center screw I was talking about that has that shoulder around the edge. It goes right in the middle. I'm not going to tighten that one all the way down until I have the rest of the screws in. But yeah, I just wanted, definitely wish there was more of those. Okay, now one thing to note, I personally like the sandwich plate design. However, this does seem like with that little thing in the middle, this is almost as good. And one part that is a little confusing at first, but definitely helpful, and you can definitely tell that they put a lot of thought into it, is that these longer ones that actually add a little extra support to the arm are what you're going to put your 30 by 30 stack on, or 31 by 31 if you're using that. However, it's always a pain. One thing I hate about my schizo frame is it's the same thing. It has that 30 by 30 going through the arm, and if you have to replace an arm, you have to take that screw all the way out of your stack. The cool thing about this design is if you take out the other 3 screws, and then just barely loosen this one, you can slide this arm out and pull it right off, which is actually super cool. Very cool little design. It's a little over-engineered if you ask me, but definitely a cool little design nonetheless. And I haven't seen any other frame like that, so. So there's a certain amount into the standoff where it actually gets kind of tight. I don't know if they did that on purpose. It seems to be that way on all of them. It would be kind of cool. Let me try this one. You might not have to actually Loctite these then, if that's the case. Yeah, so they all seem to get really tight right there at the last thread, which I think was intentional so you don't have to Loctite it. Which I think is a pretty cool little little bonus. These plates are a little flimsier than I would like them, and they're also extremely thin. I'm just putting them on for the build. I personally will print TPU standoffs. I don't really like plates myself. All right, so there she is. Honestly, really sturdy. You know, I had my doubts about this way of the locking it in on the bottom, but it definitely seems like it's going to be pretty strong. You know, only time will tell though. They did include one extra screw that can be either used for the going into the arms and the press nuts or the top plate screws. However, like I said, I wish there was more. There is these 4 little grommets. I'm sure you could use those on the sides of these plates to help soft mount your camera or put them on your stack. I have bags of these and I normally use different soft mounts anyways personally. And then they do, one thing I thought was really nice, the schizo frame did not come with screws for the motors. This bag, or this frame did, however, these arms are 4.5 millimeter, which is kind of an odd size for arms, and you can see that there is absolutely no room to put any kind of TPU arm protection, which is what I normally do on my frames. I'm sure they did this intentionally, because if they added that 1 millimeter, if you, for whatever reason, your stator was really low to the the base, sorry, that's my dog in the background barking, but if it was really low to the base, you know, you might have somebody shorting out on a winding and then people getting mad at the frame. So I understand why they went with those screws, but for me, I now just have a bag of, you know, 16 or 17 if they gave you an extra one of these what seem to be 5 mil, maybe 6 mil screws. So anyways, let's get a all up weight on this. My scale will turn on. There we go. See that? I don't know if you can actually see. It comes out to 119 grams, 19.5 grams, 19.65. With the battery pad on it, it comes out to, oh geez, that's a 10-gram battery pad almost. Wow. Comes out to 27 grams, or 127 grams. The website says it's only 117 grams, so it's off by a little bit, but maybe that's without the camera plates? I don't know. Anyways, not a bad frame, not too heavy, definitely not the lightest. I'm pretty sure the schizo frame is slightly lighter. But yeah, definitely feels like really good carbon. Again, if you're buying a frame, I would spend the extra 20, get the schizo frame, just because that frame now has a lifetime warranty on it. You get that warranty through Flight 1, or sorry, Race 1, or you know what I mean, guys. But yeah, this is definitely a good little frame. If you got $80 to spend on a frame, this is definitely one to look at. I really like, you know, it isn't a bad frame. I personally prefer a True X or a Stretch X, not a Squished X, but I will give this one a shot, build it out, and, you know, maybe in a month or two I'll tell you what I think. So thanks for watching. Put your comments down below if there's anything I missed or something that I didn't go over, or if you liked the video, make sure you let me know down below. And don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks, happy flying, and stay safe, guys.